Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. Find some space up to about the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. Now they'll run on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Arnold. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Looking to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Give him 30 yards there. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Confidence jumps up. Everyone's...
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And an alley to run. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Lee's got it over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The numbers for him from a week ago. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
Oh, a little 360. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 11. 31 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And New York set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. And now a 1st down following that long gain. They'll set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at about the 14. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Down, they'll run it on the draw play. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And New York set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Now a handoff as they run left side. And a nice spin into some open field. He's at the 50, 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And it's good to make it 14-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now out of the gun. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Let's go. 319. 319.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll drop to throw. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
First down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Then he'll give it here to his running back.
Whoosh.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. That time, a 9-play drive. And a long run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Hurry up, here we go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And to give this time to the tailback. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The Dolphins on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Lopez. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. They're going to look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out come the Dolphins now.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Room here to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he slides to avoid the hit. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this 1st half of play. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll throw now on the final play. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the 1st half. Jets with the ball midway through 1. Harvey's going to stay up the middle, and he'll go in for the score. Jets is now on top. We go to the 2nd quarter. Harvey's got nothing but space here, and he'll take this 80 yards for the score. That puts them on top by 14. Dolphins have it on 2nd and 5. Great blocking on this long run, and this long run goes for a touchdown. Now trailing by 7. Dolphins have it late in the 2nd. Defense is going to come away with the sack. This will go as a loss of 10. So that'll do it from here. Let's go back down to Miami with Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out now come the Jets. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Back to throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Dolphins on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
All right, here we go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll get them inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. They'll set up a throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So the offense has it, 6-yard line, 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That's a tough one not to hang on to on 3rd and goal, but good job defensively to get there and jar it loose.
Agreed. That was really, really nicely done because there's no pass interference on the play. Timing excellent to get in there and knock it away. A win for the defense, and it brings up 4th down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense.
And he's going to be taken down. Penalty marker on the field, however. Which side is this on?
Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Set. Green 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass it in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys work against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start. Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Back to throw. Dancing away at the 30. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. But anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, Oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now it's Hunt, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And to give this time to the tailback. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The Jets on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And he's got it up and through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
Over the middle, complete. That's Lopez. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs.
Hurry up, here we go.
And that will be incomplete as well.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree, as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And now out come the Jets. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Jets on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And his kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Set. Green, 39.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Hurry up
And he's got some space here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. 3 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They'll look to throw here. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Powell. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. They get 5 out of that one, and he moves the chains. They'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Lopez. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here we go now.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A swing pass caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Here we go.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Here we go. 3-19.
Ball on the 3, 3rd down and goal. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now Parkey for the extra point. He's got it, and the score's now 27-14. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Second down following the run. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the finals.